coming out of the 2024 NFL Draft, and of course going into this year's preseason, the Drake Maye situation specifically, it stood out more than any other storyline to me. I mean, for starters, he was really the only top 3 quarterback selected, at least seemingly, who was anticipated to ride the bench come week 1, regardless of preseason performance. And comments, along with rumors early on, they made that very clear. Yet, here we are just days away from the regular season at this point, and not only has Drake Maye outperformed his bridge quarterback in Jacoby Brissett, but he has looked phenomenal for the most part in the time that he's seen under center, with all things considered. There's the intangibles in simple things like his throw power that you're seeing. And that's already been on display, whether it be him stepping up in the pocket and dropping the ball into a bucket 50 yards down the field, or say going across his body on the run out of bounds and making it look damn near effortless. There's also the run threat that you've seen, not only showcasing his ability to recognize when the pocket is collapsing, but also putting that 4.6 40 time to some pretty good use from what it seems. All in all, when you look at the entire situation around Drake Maye this season, whether it be factors like, say, him continuing to try and learn this new West Coast offense, maybe building chemistry with his co-rookie wide receivers, even when it's just the question of when he is actually going to see the field this season, the reality, it might not be what you were expecting. But before that, today's video is brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. Now, ladies and gentlemen, football season is finally here. Okay, college has arrived, the NFL is right around the corner, and to make the most of it, we are partnering up with our friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Because get this, for any new customers who download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use promo code DIGEST and bet just $5 on any wager, you will receive $250 in bonus bets instantly. And you can use these bonus bets to get even further in on the action with, say, anytime touchdowns, same game parlays, etc. But also, if sports betting isn't available in your state yet, you can still join the action on the DraftKings Daily Fantasy app. So again, you guys, be sure to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use promo code DIGEST, and bet just $5 on any wager to receive your $250 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code DIGEST only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Now, as Drake Maye's preseason has come to a close, some of his numbers, for better or for worse, seem to stick out more than others. And these can be stats like, say, his completion percentage, his average depth of target, maybe his passer rating. You could keep going down the line if you wanted to, but more than anything, when considering that this is Drake Maye in almost a completely foreign offensive scheme compared to what he played under in college, the strides of improvement that you've seen, it seems much better than what most people expected. For an example, the footwork of Drake Maye in the pocket was hands down going to be the biggest focus area of them all. Because while it wasn't bad by any means, while pretty much strictly operating out of the shotgun in his time at North Carolina, you can definitely say that the footwork wasn't the prettiest, and with asking him to line up under center this year, they definitely needed to clean it up. And clean it up is exactly what they did when you look at plays like this. In this play action scenario from under center, not only does he calmly step up into the only space in a collapsing pocket to hit his rookie wide receiver Ja'Lynn Polk in stride, but go ahead and rewind it again. The ability to feel the collapse on the outside, stay calm, and step into the throw, it is the only reason that A, this didn't end up in a sack, and B, they had their biggest gain of the entire night. Now, typically, you don't want your rookie quarterback needing to make insanely quick pocket decisions like this and every other one that we've seen, but New England's offensive line up to this point, it has been the definition of a train wreck. Drake Maye has actually been pressured or blitzed on 74% of his dropbacks up to this point, And given how abysmal it has been on the front line, and half the Patriots fan base worrying that he'll get injured if he is thrown out there week 1, I mean, that really just makes everything else that we've seen from him, numbers included, that much more impressive. Throughout the entire preseason, Drake Maye had just under a 3-second time to throw average. And given that the protection up front is the obvious weak point within this offense, we've already seen new offensive coordinator Alex Van Pelt show his early willingness to both protect Drake Maye and even tailor this offense to his strengths by primarily operating out of the shotgun formation. I mean, not only do you visibly recognize how much more comfortable he is in this manner, but it's also the fact of how much more success they have seen when using this scheme. Again, the biggest difference is what you've seen Drake Maye do against the blitz. Now I know the majority of what we're looking at is against second and third string defensive front lines, but also considering he's been behind what could probably be considered the worst offensive line group in football, these numbers, specifically against Washington for that matter, they couldn't have been better in that regard. Now sure, it's one thing for a rookie quarterback to show the ability to recognize blitz packages and still move the ball through the air like he already has, but it's a whole different ballgame when you bring something like his legs back into the conversation. Yet again, we have another quick pocket collapse scenario. The extremely quick recognition and step up into the pocket avoids an immediate kill of the play. He then pump fakes, sets his eyes outside of the hashes, thus clearing the middle of the field, and as most of you know at this point, he seems a little faster than most would anticipate. But it's not even just the scrambles that we're seeing, it's also some of the run designs that have been on display in this small sample size. Now I know the amount of times that we're going to be seeing Drake Maye run the football this season are probably going to be few and far in between, but still, drives in totality like the first one we saw from his preseason finale, they showcase everything that was seen out of him as a top tier quarterback and even a potential face of the franchise. When you jump into it on that 3rd and long, obviously the scramble is what kept it all alive from the beginning. Very next drop back, it is that play action deep shot we mentioned, showcasing both his presence against the blitz and the adaptability to the West Coast offense of Alex Van Pelt. Following that is a 3rd down, this time out of the shotgun formation, where he once again beats the blitz with a developing Demario Douglas crosser. And last but certainly not least, you've got the simple yet effective flat read to Kevin Harris, where he really puts the ball exactly where it needs to be for his break up the sideline to put 6 on the scoreboard. Again, you guys, all of that was one single drive that pretty much encapsulates everything that you both wanted to see out of Drake Maye, and where improvement at least wanted to be recognized from his college days. Now again, in terms of the competition between these two and what was seen this preseason, it shouldn't even be a question in my eyes or yours. Okay, Drake Maye is the victor here, and the numbers and even the film tell you all you need to know. But I mean, from a Patriots fan's perspective at least, in terms of if you want him to be the starter, that is a completely different conversation here. Like, do you want to risk him developing bad habits behind this offensive line? Do you want him to take a back seat and solely observe? Point is, you guys, I think we know who the starting quarterback should be week 1, but that is where I need to know what you guys have to think of this. So please let me know in the comments. What has surprised you the most out of everything we've seen from Drake Maye up to this point? And if you had to, predict who's starting week 1 and what the final record will be for New England this season. But once again, I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate y'all more than anything, and I will see you guys in the next video.